Welcome to Business Credit Basics. This is a guide to your credit scores for business owners. What we want to talk about today is credit scores. What are credit scores when it relates to a business. Not all credit scores are created equally, of course. You likely already know that you have a personal credit score. It's what you need to buy a car, a mortgage, credit card, or even pass a background check. You probably also already know that there are three bureaus, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, that report to your credit reports. All of us know about the personal side of credit. What you may not know is that your small business has a business credit score, just like your ability to pay your credit card bills and mortgage payments on time factors into your credit score, your ability to handle your business debt and accounts payable, among other factors, all go into your business credit score. So hopefully that made sense to you, because it's almost like opposite world when you're relating it to personal credit. Your business credit score can impact your company and future opportunities in a major way. So we're outlining everything for you, everything that you need to know about your business credit scores and how to use them. So the first question is, what is a business credit score? Just like a personal credit score, your business's financial health and trustworthiness is measured by a number of factors that are summarized by a number called a business credit score. Having quote unquote good credit refers to your ability to secure financing at agreeable terms. Beyond this number, however, is a credit report that details your financial history and behaviors. Lenders, insurance companies, and other interested parties may consult your credit report to see any outstanding debts, collections, and history of late or on-time payments. Credit reports are generated by business credit bureaus, notably Experian, Equifax, and Dun & Bradstreet. Now, in the world of business, these are the big three: Experian Business, Equifax Business, and Dun & Bradstreet. Now, we know Experian and Equifax from the personal side of credit, but they also play the game of business credit as well. Just like a personal credit score, you want the highest possible number. A business credit score of 140 to 300, 140 over 300 is a good, healthy minimum score that will allow you to acquire financing. Now, we'll talk a little bit more about the range of the scores and how they are calculated. But right now, we want to know, why do you need a business credit score? If I have a personal credit score of 800 and I'm walking around with my chest stuck out and I'm like, I can get anything that I can possibly think of that I want, or I'm savvy enough to increase my score so that I can get what I need, why do I need a business credit score? Well, I'm going to tell you why. A business credit score is used to determine how likely you are to pay your bills on time and to indicate to lenders how big of a risk you may be, just like personal. But your credit score is used to determine interest rates, what type of loans you can receive, how much you'll qualify for, and how to construct repayment terms. Additionally, other businesses may use your business credit score to decide, guess what, if they want to do business with you, or to negotiate a beneficial business contract. Yes, partnerships. Partnering with certain entities and certain people, they are able to pull your business credit score to determine if they want to either invest in your business, invest in a relationship to do business with you, or anything in that area. Anyone who knows the name of your business can pull your business credit report to determine if you are a viable business to work with. Now, here's another question. You have vendors or better yet, we call them creditors on your personal credit. Now, on your business credit, we call them vendors. You know why? Because typically they provide services, right, that allow our businesses to function. So now here's my question. How do we negotiate with vendors effectively? Now, and I'm going to go back and forth talking about personal credit because I want you to comprehend what this philosophy is all about. When you're working with vendors, just like with creditors, if you get on the phone with a credit card company, let's say Discover decides, hey, you know, we're changing our terms. We're going to mail you some information. They mailed you a document. They say, oh, all of a sudden we're changing our terms. Your rate is going to change and notices of policy changes, right? Then you may decide, hey, I have some things that I'm trying to do. I need to call Discover to see what I can do to negotiate my interest rate, right? Or call Discover to negotiate my line of credit, right? So just like you would do that on a personal side, you can also do that and more on the business side. So that's what this particular slide is about. Negotiating with vendors effectively. Now, running a small business means finding the most effective ways to source your supplies and services for a maximum revenue. And of course, you know, I know you didn't get into business to have a minimum revenue, right? You're trying to maximize the revenue. Most of us are trying to replace our jobs or replace our former jobs. Or some of us say, you know what, I can pay myself more if I did it myself because I'm creating everything. I have all this intellectual property. I can get paid for it and I can sell it. Right? You see opportunity everywhere as an entrepreneur. Well, small businesses may lack the deep pockets and extensive resources of a large operation, but you may make up for it with ingenuity, agility, and the personal touch of a dedicated owner. One of the ways to give your business an edge is to learn the art of negotiating with vendors. Now, here's the thing. Negotiation skills go hand in hand with strong business acumen. In fact, negotiation skills can benefit you beyond the workplace, in your personal life and relationships. According to Forbes, and I'm sure everybody knows what Forbes is a well documented publication that, you know, a lot of people reference because of it's a peer-reviewed magazine. It's a peer-reviewed publication, rather. They said that mastering the art of negotiation will do what? Translate in all areas of your life. And I am attest to this. This has that strategy or that skill very well has translated in all areas of my life. And I could actually have my mom to testify to that one. Continuing to refine your ability to create deals that bring value will also help to maintain and grow relationships. So negotiation doesn't necessarily have to be a tug of war. Negotiation is sometimes it's just all about finding out what the other person wants and needs and meeting that need or addressing that want. Everybody wants to be recognized. Everybody wants to be honored. So you just find out what that is and you negotiate what you prefer and you just meet in the middle. So everything doesn't have to be a tug of war. But here are 11 tips for negotiating with your vendors. Number 1, build a foundation of communication. Number 2, research pricing, especially in your industry. Number 3, learn from them. You can learn from your vendors. There was a vendor who just kept calling our office and they wanted us to purchase some software. And you know what I said? I said, you know what? I'm going to try something. I told them, I said, I listened to their spiel and I said, well, do you report, if I purchase your software, do you report to business credit? And they said, report to business credit? What do you mean? So I explained to them what I meant. And I said, do you think that you will be willing to report as a trade reference? If I pay you, would you be willing to report that payment on my business credit report? And they said, well, yes, we would. And I said, okay, great. Well, I will consider purchasing your software. That was a negotiation. And guess what, guys? On business credit, you have to create the business credit profile. You have to put the vendors or acquire the vendors to be put on your business credit profile. They do not just automatically appear, right? Like our personal credit. So that's just a perfect example of how you can negotiate with vendors and both of you can get what you want. The vendor can get a sale and you can get a positive report on your business credit. Number 5, you can also get quotes, right? Number 6, try a different angle. You always want to try a different angle when you're negotiating. Like I said before, you want to look at it from the standpoint of the other person or the other entity. Find out what they want and what they need and meet that need and offer them what they want. Number 7, talk to customers. Number 8, lead with a deposit. Sometimes that's beneficial and sometimes it's not, but you will know if you learn negotiation, you will know when to lead with a deposit. Number 9, don't get desperate. That's the main thing about negotiating, because if you get desperate, you lose. Number 10, be partners. Realize that the other person on the other line is not trying to take advantage of you. Present yourself as an entity who wants to partner to give them what they want and also what they need. And lastly, start strong. When you begin your negotiations, start strong, start confident, and know exactly what you're talking about, know your industry, and better yet, if they're in a different industry, know their industry. Why you should consider variable costs. Now, when you acquire all of these vendors, there are going to be some costs that are associated with purchasing products and services and things of that sort. Now, as you know, with personal credit, you want to minimize your expenses, just as with business credit. The way that you can minimize your expenses is to consider your variable costs. And those are costs that can either, you can do without. You don't really have to have it. You just have it because it was convenient. So for example, it is quite rare, right, that prices are set in stone. And through skilled negotiation, you can find a more desirable agreement. Negotiating prices can have exponential effects on your business, since the better prices on ever-growing orders over longer periods of time can mean a massive reduction in cost for you. It's not just about price. Negotiating with vendors could help you improve an overall vendor contract. The negotiation process can help you understand the needs of each party and determine a contract that benefits both sides of the transaction. From interest to length of contract to payment terms, your vendor contract is made of many facets that can be negotiated. You can negotiate with potential suppliers as well. Existing vendor contracts, so think outside the box. You may not be able to control your revenue or easily drum up new business, but you can increase your profit margin by decreasing your variable costs each month. A successful negotiation with a vendor can do that, while also helping you better assess your business needs and strengthening your supplier relationships. Now, I want to invite you to take a look at our customized RP3 system. Our RP3 system helps business owners do just exactly what I just shared with you: minimize variable costs. You may not be able to increase your revenue, just like I just stated, and you may not be able, you may struggle with drumming up new business, but our RP3 system will show you successfully how to assess your business needs and strengthen your revenue. So with that being said, I just want to invite you to take a look at our RP3 system. So check it out. It'll be at the end of the module 12. So this is also what you want to do. You want to learn from your vendors. You want a partnership with your vendors. You want to treat your vendors like the industry experts they are and ask them to help you learn more about your field. Not only will you better understand your industry, but you'll earn the respect. Do your best to understand where they are coming from and the issues they face in the industry. Vendors want to work with well-informed business owners that will run their company successfully over the long term. Demonstrate that you want to stay on the cutting edge of industry development and learn the details of the business. And you'll demonstrate that you're a company smart enough for partnership. Now, I know that you've already gone through module 1, right? Everybody's already gone through module 1. When we were talking about personal development, we were talking about growing as much as your entity grows, right? You have to stay a lifelong learner in order to accomplish a lot of these tasks in your business. When you're working with vendors, read, learn, ask questions. If you have to sit in the student seat when you're communicating with a vendor, be okay with that. Have an humble spirit about that, because the outcome, the benefit of it all is that you learn from them, and the more you learn, the more you earn, right? So I just want to encourage you to do that. How is a business credit score calculated? Now, remember earlier, I told you that we were going to talk about how a business credit score is calculated. Well, here we are. Just like personal credit scores, business credit scores come from multiple reporting bureaus. And we talked about those bureaus earlier. But here are a few more. These reporting bureaus are Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, and Equifax. And they can help you get better financing, like personal credit scores. Business credit scores are not all created equally. When you do not have established business credit, that's when your personal credit score comes into place, right? So if you want to acquire a line of credit and you don't have business credit, a lender will always ask you for a personal guarantee. In the world of business credit, we call that a PG. And in some cases, you may see that acronym on some of the language that even we have on our website, or, because we're in that space of business credit. But it's called a personal guarantee. This does not necessarily mean that you will have an inquiry on your personal credit report. It really just depends on the lender that you are applying to for funding. Now, here are the 4 most important credit scores for business owners. You have your personal credit score, of course. You have your Dun & Brad, which is called your Paydex, right? You have FICO, that's another business credit score. And then you have Experian, which is another business credit score, okay? So the credit score range for your Paydex is 1 to 100, as well as Experian is 1 to 100. The credit score range for FICO's business credit is 0 to 300. This is why in some cases Depending on what platform that you check your business credit score on, it will have a score of 300 or 200 or so, or 100 or so. And then it would look like a fraction because it would have a line, a slash. This is why. Okay, so you have multiple business credit scores, and that's compared to your personal credit. Acceptable minimum funding. Now, lenders, it just depends. Lenders rate credit score differently, right? It just depends on their policies. It depends on their goals. It depends on what their overall goal is, and also what they require. Some lenders require a personal credit score of 600. Some lenders require a DMB paydex score of 50. And to be honest with you, 50 is very low. It's very low. And then, of course, FICO, SBSS 140, and then Experian Business is 51, which is also still low. That's minimum for funding, okay? Now, an excellent credit score, of course, personal, we all know that 800 is an excellent score, right? Now, for Dun & Brad Paydex, an 80 plus is an excellent credit score. This is the credit score that we focus on because we have strategies within JA Consulting and Corporate Tax Solutions where we can actually connect you with one of 60 of our lenders if you have a DMB paydex score of 80 or more. That is the score that we focus on because we can create a strategy for funding and actually grow a portfolio, FYI. And your FICO SBSS 180 is an excellent score, right? And if you look at Experian Business, 76 is an excellent score, okay? So these are the different ways that business credit scores are calculated. Now, of course, we know about the personal credit score as you learn more about business credit and get more into the details of potentially building it or growing your profile. Be sure not to neglect your personal credit. My suggestion is to build it simultaneously while you're building your business credit. It's so much easier to focus on your personal when you're working on your business. Many small businesses start out using the owner's personal credit score to secure early financing, which is a necessary step. However, your personal credit can negatively impact your business and vice versa. It's recommended that you separate your business from personal credit as soon as you can to keep both pristine. If you're years into your business and your business credit score is less than stellar, some services may take your personal credit score into account. Taking care of your personal credit score can bail you out if you let your business credit fall. But by keeping things up on the personal side of things, you can have a great plan B for your business and stay on track for your personal goals. Your personal credit score is reported on a scale of course, 350 to 850, like we mentioned earlier. And you're entitled to one free credit report a year. Of course, we all know that, right? You can go to www.myfico.com to download your credit report, or you can use Experian.com. All of those monitoring services are great. Some people say, oh, well, that's a waste of time. Oh, it's a waste of money. And they want you to pay $30 a month. I just got off a call with a client and she's working on raising her personal credit because she wants to do a personal guarantee for a line of credit for her business. And she was asking, we don't do personal credit. We don't tell you how to increase your personal credit. However, we do know that there are resources in your monitoring system, whether you are on Experian.com or myfico.com. They give you suggestions every month as to how you can increase your personal credit score. Take advantage of those suggestions. And if you're paying a $30 a month subscription to either of those, they will actually send the notices to your phone as a instant message, right? As a notification rather. Take advantage of those because building your business credit at the same time with your personal is so beneficial. The DNB Paydex score is reported by Dun & Brad, of course, with a scale of 1 to 100, 100 being a perfect payment history. It's slightly simpler than personal credit to gauge where you are off, at the bat. While your personal Social Security number is associated with your personal credit and your EIN number with your business credit, you also need, guess what? A DUNS number to access your DNB Paydex score. Now, DUNS numbers are free. You go to www.dunandbradstreet.com and you apply for your DUNS number. You may receive a notification that says it's going to take 45 days for them to give you your DUNS number, or you may get an email almost immediately. We've done so many of these registrations for our clients that we've experienced multiple, opportunities of getting it right away. They've gotten it 45 days later. They've gotten it 2 weeks later. And in some cases, unfortunately, they received it months and months later. So it just depends. Now, Dun & Brad is a pay-to-play entity. If you decide to take advantage of any of their services, amazingly, they will give you your DUNS number right on the phone. So just to give you that information, if you want to pay to play with Dun & Brad, they will give you that number, but it's not necessary because the number is free. With the special calculations that Dun & Brad use, paying your bills on time and especially early is key and can work in your favor, just like with your personal credit. If you only pay your bills on their due date, the highest rating you can get is 80. 100 rated payments are those that are made 30 days early. Can you pay your bills 30 days early? I bet you can, especially if you take advantage of the RP3 system that we've put in place. If you want a credit score that takes into account your early payments, the Paydex score is one to keep an eye on, right? All right, so FICO, Liquid Credit, Small Business Scoring Service. This particular service is the SBSS score, which was on the previous chart. This score can help you get some more favorable financing since it takes into account many business factors. While having any of your credit ratings high is always excellent, the SBA requires the SBSS score to consider your business for an SBA loan. SBA loans can, depending on the amount, come without much required collateral and with more desirable rates and terms. I will say this about SBA loans. They want everything from you. That's the only thing about them. They want all of your information. They want to know what your kid's middle name is, no, I'm just joking, but seriously, they want everything. And guess what? SBA also wants a business plan, full business plan with financials. Okay, I'm just FYI, that's what they want. Paydex scores come on a scale of 1 to 100. The SBSS scores ranges from 0 to 300. Most lenders set their minimum score at 160, but the SBA reportedly sets their minimum, guess what, at 140, trying to give everyone a break a little bit. By working to get your score above the minimum, you can open up your ability to get solid financing and grow your business. Now, the Experian IntelliScore attempts to determine the likelihood of serious delinquency by your business for the next 12 months, all based on the business data available. Just like the Paydex score, the IntelliScore is measured on a 1 to 100 scale, a score of 1 being the highest risk, right? And 100 being the lowest risk. The IntelliScore is determined by over commercial and owner variables, including trade line and collection information, recent credit inquiries, public filings, new account activity, key financial ratios, and other performance indicators. If you can come to your lender with a solid IntelliScore, you can potentially put their minds at ease and secure more favorable rates and terms than you would otherwise. Now, these are the only scores that I'm going to talk about in this particular segment, but know this, there are 14 different scores on your business credit report. All of those scores are moving parts that are being calculated by an algorithm. So there's no possible way to totally understand the algorithm, but just know that every score tells a vendor something different about your spending habits. Now, how do I find out what my business scores are? Good question. I'm glad you asked. In order for you to see your business credit scores, you'll need to check with the business credit reporting bureaus. For the Dun & Brad, you would need a DUNS number to get your credit score. In addition, you would need an EIN. Your lender will calculate your FICO SBSS score based on a variety of factors. So there's no place to get the FICO SBSS. It's a calculation that your lender actually performs. Okay, you can find this score by working with an SBA approved lender. And we do have those within our network. Like I said before, we work with over 60 different lenders. Experian and Equifax are credit bureaus from which you can request a business credit report. The report will show your score as well as the contributing factors that inform your score. You can usually request a report once a year, or you can ask to see the report when it is pulled for financing by vendor or lender. This is a little tip. You can pull your business credit report anytime. Go to Dun & Bradstreet, DunandBradstreet.com. You will have to pay. You may have to pay maybe about $50 or so to pull your business credit report, but you can pull your report, right? Now, how can you improve your credit? These are steps that you can use to improve your credit score. If your credit score is on the low side, or you have yet to establish your business credit score separate from your personal credit score, there are a few key steps you can take to build a stronger score. Get a business credit card. Check your report. Pay early. Stay below 30% usage, right? Now, I always recommend 10%, just to keep yourself, on track, because 30%, some of us would just look at it as like, oh, okay, I have $10,000. I just can't exceed 3,000. But you'll get so close to 3,000 that you end up over right on the 30th of the month. And then the reporting is too late, because the reporting will report you at 32% usage. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Just stay, in between 10 and 30, and you'll be okay. Make sure you work with reporting vendors as well. Now, you may ask, how can I protect my credit score? Well, you pretty much protect your credit score just like you protect your personal credit score. You've worked hard for your business credit. How can you make sure it stays strong? Once you've begun to establish your business credit score, you can take the following precautions. Monitor your credit just like your personal. Dispute issues just like your personal. Separate business and personal. Pay early. Manage business credit card usage, just like we just discussed. So lastly, everything that I just shared here, our goal in this program is to apply all of the information that's being shared. Now, this is the end of this particular session. Now you will have an assignment. Your assignment must be completed before you move on to the next module. So take advantage of everything. If you have to go back through the video, by all means, do that. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. You can go to our website and click on the chat, and we'll be right in touch with you within an hour. But sometimes it's like right away, it's immediate during business hours. So let's get started applying these strategies. And with that, take care, and I'll see you on the other side of your funding.